Hello, and welcome to Animal Chiropractic Clinic Chatter, a podcast where Dr. O from All Creatures Every Spine interviews doctors and animal owners that utilize animal chiropractic to get their unique perspectives. Yes, it's really a thing. Dr. O utilizes his 30 years of experience as both an animal chiropractor and veterinarian, and to dig deep into the discussion of complex issues affecting the lives of your animal friends and companions. Join us for this educational episode. Thanks for joining us for this portion of the episode as Dr. O begins to answer the question, what is animal chiropractic? He will look at how the chiropractic adjustment is a valuable and viable treatment for what ails your animals.
So animal chiropractic, and how often do we need to see your dog or your horse? Let's just think about a rocket that's going to take off and exit orbit. And it uses a lot of energy and a lot of fuel right at the beginning to get outside of the orbit. And it takes more energy to do that. So it's kind of like your animal's chiropractic care. It's going to take a lot of adjustments, a lot of energy on your part to do some rehab, to do some stuff like that, in order to get your animal enough energy, your pet enough healing energy, and in the right places to help him get into orbit. So that once we get into orbit, it doesn't take very much fuel to stay in orbit. So just some monthly maintenance after that, maybe even a couple months. But at the beginning, we're going to need to see your pet maybe once a week, maybe a couple times a week, depending on how sick they are. Why does your animal need to keep getting readjusted? Well, it's kind of like a chain. The chain doesn't fail at the strongest point. It always fails at the weakest point. And the weakest point of your animal's spine is that one that has been subluxated for the longest period of time. It's going to take a long time for that chain, that area, to get strengthened up and to where the body gets used to holding it in the correct position. The body does this amazing things with vertebral subluxations in that it compensates for them, and it makes it so that there is no pain there. The body helps with that, and so that way we don't have to walk around all the time crunched over, or all the time your dog is in pain in the middle of his back. Doesn't mean that there's not subluxations there. It means that the body's compensated for it. Doesn't mean that things are working up to potential underneath that subluxation. It just means that, hey, we've got some problems. So we've got to strengthen the weak links. We've got to strengthen the muscles around that area. We've got to get those areas of transition to move better and to be the way they're supposed to work, so that your animal can experience its optimum potential all the time. And then we're going to check those weak links and make sure they stay adjusted, make sure they stay moving properly, so that your animal is the animal that you want him to be.
Make sure to visit our website, allcreatureseveryspine.com, where you can subscribe to the show and learn more about getting your animals adjusted. If you are in the Meridian, Texas area, drop in on a Tuesday afternoon to get your animals adjusted. If that isn't possible, schedule a consultation on your animal's health with Dr. O. You can also purchase a copy of Dr. O's book. Yes, it's really a thing.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. For me, my hero is Frank, my best friend. But even the greatest heroes need help sometimes. Frank and I were at the park the other day when he started limping and favoring his left leg. I didn't see what happened, but I could tell something was wrong. So we went to see Frank's favorite vet, Yvette. Yvette the vet. After running some tests, she determined that Frank had torn his ACL. His best option was surgery. But unfortunately for me, surgery wasn't an option. So what could I possibly do to be a hero to my hurting hero? That was when Yvette told us about hero braces. She took a quick cast of his leg and said this mold would be used to create a biomechanically designed stifle brace, custom made just for Frank, allowing his body's natural healing processes to take over and stabilize the knee. About 2 weeks later, she fitted the brace and gave us the green light to walk, hike, and snuggle, and do all the activities that Frank and I were used to doing. It was that simple. Hero braces are lightweight, don't stretch or tear, and are durably designed to last the life of your dog. So Frank can get back to being Frank. Like I said, heroes come in all shapes and sizes. And lucky for us, so do hero braces.
What is going on, everyone? My name is Stan Smith. I'm the CEO of X-Dog and the inventor of the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest. What is the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest? In a nutshell, it is the world's greatest harness for dogs. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're looking to build muscle, combat obesity, address anxiety issues, high energy, you want to suppress that energy level. If you just want to take the average walk and turning into a health improving workout, we made it so convenient to exercise your dog that you literally only need about 30 seconds a day. It doesn't matter if you're doing basic obedience training or compete at high level dog sports or in protection sports. The X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest can enhance it and take any type of daily lifestyle to the next level. If you want to be part of our mission of eliminating canine obesity or just being a part of our team, make sure you go to teamxdog.com. As always, man, I want to thank you for your time and your support, and Team X-Dog strong.
Hello everyone, and welcome to barfworld.com. If you're seeing this video, it typically means you're interested in trying our 90-day challenge. If your pet is suffering from allergies, kidney issues, obesity, diabetes, or even cancer, our food can help with that. So if you're ready to see your pet's health dramatically improve in just 90 days, call us and schedule your consultation today. Hope to talk to you guys soon.
Join us as Dr. O interviews a certified chiropractor, veterinarian, or an animal owner. These enthusiastic people explain how they utilize animal chiropractic to alter the lives of the animals in their communities.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Animal Chiropractic Clinic Chatter. I'm your host, Dr. O. We have Dr. Josh with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice, Dr. Josh.
As Dr. O said, I'm Dr. Josh. I am a chiropractor by trade. I've been doing this for 15 years now, working on humans, and went back to ACEs for animal chiropractic 3 years ago. And to get a little change, a little variation in my practice here in the state of Montana. And so pretty much my human practice is mainly general people, injuries, that kind of stuff, PI cases and sports rehab injuries. Work with a lot of athletes. And then that's part-time. And the other part-time, I'm out treating dogs, cats, guinea pigs, horses, especially being in Montana, a lot of horses. Do that part-time, and that's kind of what I do.
All right. What's your biggest win with animal chiropractic?
Oh, my biggest win. Recently, I had a horse here not too long ago. His name's Scotty. I guess it's been about 2 months now. Got a phone call from a client. She, word of mouth, had heard about me. She had a 28-year-old horse, Scotty, that wasn't doing too good. He has about a 10 by 10 yard patch on the hillside that he wouldn't walk from. His back left hind limb constantly lifting it in flexion about every 5 to 7 seconds. Wasn't eating. You could tell he was just distraught and in a lot of pain. She had a vet come out there and take a look at him, and they said, you know, given his age, probably the best thing to do is just to put him down. And I was told, you know, no animal should ever go down without at least one good adjustment. So I said I'd be more than happy to come out and try it and see what we could do. And went out there and took a look at Scotty, adjusted him. He was, you know, skin and bones, not much weight on him or anything. And then, worked him over from head to tail, got him adjusted up. And I said, all right, you know, I'll come back out in a few days. We'll see how he's doing. She had another vet come out, wanted a second opinion. And they said, well, you know, have the chiropractor come out. We'll see. We'll get him some supplements. I went out, and still every 5 to 7 seconds, that hawk stifle, everything was just constantly coming up in flexion. Adjusted him again. And about 4 days later, I got a video from the owner, and he was doing it about 3 times a minute. And then it's been 8 or 9 visits now. I was just out there 2 weekends ago, and we couldn't find Scotty because on their 25 acres, he had gone up the hillside off wandering, living his best life, packed on some weight. And, you know, the owners just love this. I mean, this was, they didn't ride him or anything. He was just, you know, part of the family. And, you know, you could just see the tears in both the owners' eyes that they were going to have to put their beloved horse down, and watching them, you know, have their Scotty back to normal and walking around. So basically about every 2 weeks, I just go out there and tune him up. But 3 visits and he was already walking on the hillside again. He'd go down, he would never go back up. So it's fantastic. And yeah, she calls me out all the time. And now I got some of her neighbors because they've seen the horse. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, but that's not the only one. I've seen lots of animals that do really well with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
So what has animal chiropractic meant to you and your family?
It's been great for the family. I bought a new 27-foot camper, and so we go camping most weekends. I'm only in my clinic here 4 days a week, and then I'm either out traveling in the truck treating horses, or we pack up the camper and fishing rods and stuff. I get up early in the morning, go hit a stable, see a couple horses, and then we spend the weekend hiking, camping. Sometimes some of the people let us even go horseback riding on some of the horses. And so it's been a great family bonding experience. It gets us outside, especially in this state. It's a great state to have the whole wilderness as my office. And so it's been great with that. The extra income is great too. Can't complain about that. But yeah, I get to spend more time with my family. I'm not in a clinic seeing 50, 60 patients a day. I get to make my own schedule, work when I want, and spend more time with my kids, helping them with their sports, swim practices, baseball, whatever it is. So going from 50, 60 hours a week to 25, 30, it's been nice.
All right. How has the protocol worked for you?
Like
the show me
in regards, the show me protocol and checking out for dural torque and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's been great. The show me aspect of it, being a boy from Missouri, that's our state motto, is the show me state. I love being able to show owners, hey, take a feel at this, look at the way the hips are, watch what I adjust. Because a lot of people are, especially the horse owners, because they're such large animals. And I'm a pretty big guy, but they're skeptical that, is this really going to do a whole lot? Am I going to be able to see it? And I'm like, just watch, and being able to, I've used that little dowel rod. I carry a dowel rod into my truck bed and setting that on the back of the butt and SI joints to show them, how it's tilted. Just seeing that, and they're like, how can you adjust and move that? And it takes force, but it doesn't take anything and everything you got to get them to level out. And Same with the neck. The barrel racers, when they're trying to get their horse, they're not cutting the barrel tight, being able to show them the range improvement just after a quick adjustment in the neck, and they're able to see how much farther their horse can get their nose close to that shoulder blade. Patient education. And so when they see that, they know that they're getting better value for their animal too. And it just helps with word of mouth, helps my business, helps them make them believers and pass it on to other friends and family that can benefit from it with their animals.
Yeah. All right. What's the biggest surprise you've had with animal chiropractic?
My biggest surprise? I haven't got bit yet.
That's because we stress safety.
But I've been teaching. Yeah. That's why I got my long sleeves on right now. Biggest surprise. I don't know. I was looking for it when I looked into animal chiropractic, but just the change in my overall life in general. I don't know if when I was back in school, if you remember talking, but I mean, a slow day was 40 patients, and I'd see upwards to 70. It was just a grind. You start losing that passion, and I love what I do now. I mean, like I said, setting my own schedule, I get to take my family and kids with me. So I don't know if it's really a surprise, but just how well it's went. My wife still thinks I'm crazy, but as for a surprise, I just didn't think it'd be this much of a life-changing experience, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I thought maybe the guinea pig. You said you did a guinea pig.
Oh, adjusting the guinea pig. Yeah. Yeah. One of the kids' friends had a guinea pig, and it crawled off the dresser and just kind of flopped and fell. And, the girl was really upset. It was her, it was her pet, and so she was really upset and tearing up. And, I didn't learn much about guinea pig anatomy when I was in school. That's kind of not the go-to, but just spent a couple minutes researching on kind of what does their spine look like, superimposing it in my mind on them, and just feeling around. And kind of reminded me about Justin, like a little baby. I mean, obviously it's smaller, but we just the pressure of testing a tomato with its ripeness. You feel little clicks and clunks, and it's pretty wild. And the guinea pig's still alive today. And that was year and a half ago, something like that, 2 years ago, but never thought I'd do that. I always thought about chickens and goats. I've got a homeschool here, and she has me out to do demonstrations. And she got horses, chickens, goats, but yeah, guinea pig's pretty wild. Done a snake once before. Had the kid fed it too big of a rat and felt like some ribs and stuff got popped out. It wasn't digesting properly, and just trying to get some motility going there. That's one I never thought I'd do either. So, if it's got a spine, it can be adjusted. That's my view on it.
Yeah, you'd have trouble. I'd have trouble with the hands-on the snake, though.
See, I had a pet snake. His name was Leo, which happens to be my father-in-law's name too. Not intentional though.
All right. So what would you tell other chiropractors about animal chiropractic?
You're missing out. I mean, it's just like it finishes like a roundness to the profession. Lots of families have pet dogs, pet cats. Out here, a lot of people have horses. And it's a whole different dynamic and feeling of reward, being able to help animals like that. Like we always hear from people, oh, that felt so good, I'm doing so much better. But when you can see an animal and just see their eyes light up, or I'll have horses that'll come running to the fence because I've been treating them for so long, running towards me, and they won't even run towards their trainer or owner. And they have to go out and try to catch them. But I show up in my truck and they're like, ooh, Dr. Josh is here. I know what I'm getting today. It's just a whole nother sense of reward. And and it's easy in the fact that they respond so well. They're not stressed with the 10 million things we have, like, with chiropractic stuff. They respond so well and so quickly, and sometimes it can be frustrating with human patients, but with animals, I don't know, the sense of reward you get out of helping more than just the people, and you can help them too. I bring my portable table with me when I go to ranches and work on the ranch hands too. But yeah, that would be the biggest thing, is just the fulfillment.
I know some people adjust animals, some chiropractors adjust animals right out of chiropractic school because their innate tells them. Did you do any of that?
No, I didn't. There might have been a dog here or there, but it was activator because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to make it hurt anymore. And it was just kind of feeling around, but I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't have a system to follow, and how to test for which areas are problematic. I could push on little hips back, and there's a tender point, so maybe he's hurt in the low back. But yeah, I didn't dabble or mess with it too much until a few years ago. And just like people, though, I feel like hands-on, that touch brings a whole nother dynamic and healing to that animal than just a little couple clicks here and there.
Yeah. Well, chiropractic is with hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally heal with hands. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, but I don't take my activator with me. I get asked all the time, "Oh, are you going to use the little clicky thing?" I'm like, "No, I want to feel what I'm doing."
Yeah, cool. Yeah. What else? What do you wish all the animal owners knew about animal chiropractic?
One, that it's a thing. There's countless people. This is a new clinic with a buddy of mine, and how many people walk in the door, and I have pamphlets up there about how does chiropractic help your equine and dogs. I think you know what I'm talking about, those pamphlets, and I have them sitting up front. They're like, "Oh, horses get adjusted, dogs get adjusted." I'm like, if it's got a spine, everything can get adjusted,
Yeah.
and so some people, like, once they try it, they get it for their animal because they see, Spot running around and playing better and fetching better, But I think it's getting more well known, but I just don't think a lot of people quite realize what it is now. In the rodeo world up here, like, everybody's got chiropractors and they get it. But outside of that, like your general weekend riders, why would my horse need it? And then I, have a discussion to them about the weight bouncing on their back, the hunters carrying them, pack mules and stuff. And, that kind of makes sense, but that would be the biggest thing, is if they, knew, one, it was a thing, and then two, why it's a benefit to them and an investment in their animals.
So what do you tell some of the rodeo people that have I have a guy that, I think he's a biology teacher, or, about the lay chiropractor?
Oh yeah, we get quite a few of those. Farriers are a common one. Well, here I had a guy. It was shortly after we finished up with ACEs before we graduated, and he was very upset at the prices I charged for his horse. He said he had his horse adjusted 4 times earlier. It didn't make a difference, but he heard from one of his other friends that, "Hey, you got to try my guy." So I was talking to him, and he said, my lay chiropractor farrier adjusted him, 3-4 times, and he only charged me $50. And, is your horse any better? Is he chewing any better? Or is your hay bale still stacked up here because you can't bend over and get the food? And he's like, "No, it's still a problem." That time was one adjustment. He sent me a video 2 days later. He had the hay and water trough back on the ground, and he could bend over. And the difference between paying for somebody that went to school, got good education, good training and practice, hands-on before going out in the real world versus somebody who, I don't know if they watched a YouTube video, but I told him, I was like, if you would have saved that $50 over 4 visits and paid me that one visit to come out, you would have saved money. But so that's when I tell him, like, this is what I went to school for,
Yep.
and then I got the AVCA certification. You can look me up and see, it's not a lot of people. There's a lot of even non-lay chiropractors, but people who went to school never went and got certified, and is the elite few that go on to get that national certification. So
You bet.
yeah.
It is, and it makes a huge difference, and it, in your results, and having a protocol that you follow the same every animal to start with. I mean, it's not like you cookie cutter them, but at least you don't miss anything.
Oh yeah. No, and having those systems too, because then, okay, if A then B then C, if A's fine, B, clear that out, move on to the next. And then, like you said, you don't miss anything. You can clear out everything, and you're going to get quicker, faster results, and then the owner is going to be a lot happier with that.
Yeah. So you don't just jump right in on the back leg or where the problem seems to be,
Nope.
Yeah. I saw a dog today, and it was just a wellness care. Really not any problem, but just they go to the chiropractor. Maybe they should get their dogs adjusted. And so they came in, and one back leg was an inch smaller around than the other back leg. And she said, well, yeah, he has been kind of limps on and off, and this will fix it though, right? And I said, well, because I showed her that muscle asymmetry, got off, the dog shook, the dog was happier, and she goes, oh, he looks so happy, and he's, doesn't act like he's in pain. I said, well, but because of that asymmetry, he's not going to hold it as long as your other dog.
Right.
So she was, and she got it. She was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But if I hadn't measured those legs, she'd have been like, well, it worked for a day. How come it didn't last forever?
Right. So is she going to start taking her dog to the gym now? Get her
Not
all
on the
strengthened
first
up?
visit, but maybe. We do have target exercises, and
Yeah.
the chiropractic lifestyle, right? You get chiropractic adjustment, you have good food, and you get proper exercise. So
That's right.
works for dogs, horses. We'd have to come up with some guinea pig exercises, but yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you that was a weird one, but you know what? Why not?
Yep, it works. Well, we have, there are atlases. The only atlas that doesn't have any wings on it to get a hold of are the giraffes. So that's probably the only atlas you don't want to adjust. So, but yeah. What would you tell the vets? I know you guys, you don't have to have referral in your area, but what would you tell vets that are like afraid to refer to a chiropractor?
I haven't run into too many issues around that here. Most of them just really don't know. There's a few vets that have, some chiropractic training and stuff, but a lot of them are like our vet for my dogs and cats. She's kind of like, well, what would I send them for? What kind of problems, and discussing, musculoskeletal little things, they can't eat out of their dog dish or whatever. But the biggest hindrance I see is that they're afraid I'm going to steal their business. And I'm like, no, I'm going to make you look good because you sent them over to me. We can co-treat, co-manage the issues, but they're going to respond so much better that they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to keep seeing Dr. Kate, because she knows what my dog needs, and working hand in hand. And then being able to have somebody that I can refer injuries to if there's something else doesn't, because I'm not a vet, I don't diagnose those things. But I had one dog that sadly I've been treating for about 3 years now, and he was not doing too good and came in for a couple of adjustments, and I adjust the owner as well. And I was like, this is, I don't know, this is something weird. I don't know, but you got to get into the vet. And so the vet asked for my notes and asked, what I thought. And I was like, I just deal with the, subluxations and that. And this dog just does not normally responds really well. And they started doing some imaging and found tumors everywhere. But, at least she was like, at least, work with me, try to point me in the right direction. I said, I don't think it's really musculoskeletal. There's something else weird going on. I don't know. That's not what I'm trained in. But so I just try to tell vets, I'd like to work hand in hand with you. I'm not trying to steal your business. I'm not a vet. Like, you got to do what you do best, and I'll do what I can. And why can't we just work jointly to figure it out? Make the pets, quality of life as best as possible.
Well, and that's, we each need to stay in our area of expertise. And that's like, I don't do any surgery or any like that anymore because I feel like that's not my area of expertise anymore. You can't be, and that's in the veterinary medical profession. That's one of the problems with burnout is that they're expected to do everything, These young grads are expected to be able to do surgery, figure chemotherapy, and do all kinds of stuff that, 20 years ago, we didn't even, chemotherapy was not heard of in pets, and now they got to be able to figure out dosages and be able to have a, safe place to administer it. And, so. Yeah, get in your area of expertise and stay there. We need a few general practitioners, but
Sure. Yeah, I've got a master's in rehab, and I used to deal with post-surgical ACLs and meniscus and that kind of stuff. That was 12 years ago, and now I have a few patients who are like, hey, I'm having my ACL repaired. Can you? And I'm like, no, but I'll send you to somebody else that they literally do this every day. Could I? Yeah, but if you want the best of the best, see the guy that this is what he does on a daily basis. You want an adjustment? Come see me. Don't go see, somebody that adjusts a person once a month.
Yeah, and that's like we have chiropractors call up all the time, and I just want to learn enough to be able to adjust my own dog. And we tell them to take the money and call a certified animal chiropractor.
Well, if you want to know enough to adjust your own dog, you're going to know enough to adjust everyone's dog. So why not make it a part of your life and your business at that point?
Yeah, either make it a part
or go,
or don't.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because it is a big investment in time and money.
Sure.
Sure. But like you said, the time comes back twofold, threefold.
Yep.
And the money, obviously you said you made the money back. So
yeah. And then some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Any parting words?
If you're not doing it, you should be doing it. Like, I love it. Like I said, it switched the whole dynamic of my lifestyle around. And it's fun and cool. People, I hate saying it, they put them on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. I'm like, oh, you do that kind of stuff. And, I'm like, yeah, but that's not real. That's not quite how it really happens in real life. But, it's fun. Like you get out, you get to meet some neat, interesting people. You get to work with all kinds of, animals. Some of them are big sport animals I work with here, and partially nationally ranked stuff. I don't know. It's never a field I would have thought I would have got into, but I can't imagine not doing it now. And you get to shock people because they're like, "You adjust that horse?" I got a video of me standing next to this Belgian, and they're just like, "That thing is so tall, and you adjust that thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how? What? You're crazy!" And so, I don't know. I just, if you're curious, I would definitely check it out and look into it, because if you're a chiropractor or a vet, You're going to see a lot of benefit, a lot less work, a lot more free time, and yeah, good return on your time and money, like you said.
Yeah.
So
I like the people that watch the YouTube videos, and they ask me if I'm going to do that to my dog, to their dog, and I always say if it needs it.
that's a good answer. Yeah, I just love when they pick them all saying,
No,
like,
you didn't do this to my dog, and I'm like, yeah, he didn't need that one.
He
today.
didn't need it. Yeah, there you go.
He didn't need that one today because
I'm gonna put that in my back pocket.
Yeah, I don't know why he would need that, but yeah. So anyway, well, thank you for your time today, Dr. Josh, and everybody out there that's listening. Remember, the body heals one way only, above, down, inside out. Keep those atlases adjusted.
All right. Thanks, Dr. O. Good to see you again.
If you are or know a veterinarian or chiropractor, or a student of either of these professions, visit our website, Animal Chiropractic Education Source, to see how to become certified in animal chiropractic. Start improving the lives of the animals around you. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the ACES channels so that you never miss an exciting episode.